Okay, so hi everyone. This is Zhu Jiaming from China, and here I'm going to present the education technology final project. Mm, so my project is doing iOS app, helping memorizing 99 times 99 multiplication table, or we can just use it to do the 9 times 9 multiplication table. And the specialty of the project is it has the space repetition algorithm to help us memorize it. So let's start. So the motivation is people tend to forget things really fast. Like if we remember something 100% on day one, we tend to like forget half of it on the second day, and it gets even like smaller later on. This is actually a feature of our brain, not a bug, because we that's learn to forget things, but sometimes we don't want it, and we forgot pretty fast. Um, but also there's good news. The good news is if we remind it pretty often, like uh, when it drops here, we remind it, and then it drops here, and we remind it as well, and it drops here. As long as we keep the line like above 80% or above 90%, there's very small time we need to review it. And once we review it, we will remember longer and see the forget curve will just drop less sharply and less sharply. And therefore, the space we need to remind is smaller and smaller. Like here is kind of like half day. This is like 2 to 3 days. This will be like 5 to 7 days, and then it will be like 2 weeks and even more. So therefore, we know that if we review the knowledge in a spaced repetition way, which means that in we repeat to learn something, but not in a static frequency, but in a different repetition frequency, we can get the knowledge pretty easily. And therefore, I would like to introduce two main algorithms. One is flashcard. This is actually pretty naive. It's just you put items in the boxes, and once you remember it, you move it to the second box, the next box. And if you remember it, you move to the next box. And if something you find you don't remember, you just put it back to the first box, very first box. And every box has its own review frequency. Let's say 1 day, once per day, once per 4 days, once per 10 days, once per 25 days, and once per 60 days. So that's the flashcard algorithm, super naive. It's actually not an algorithm, but actually something we use all the time. And we can just put it into a word algorithm just to like abstracting it. Okay, so here's the demo time. I'm gonna show my app, trying to remember the multiplication table. Here is the scene. All right. So this is the app. This is the app. So there are 5 tests, like 5 boxes, and whenever I press something, it will tell us, give us a question, and we can just answer it. And by clicking the right one, we can just submit. 9, 11, 99. What you just hear is 9, 11, 99. It's like the audio representation of the question, and so it gives us correct. And later on, this one is pretty hard, so let's just type some random number there and apply. 82, 76, 6, 2, 3, 2. So 82, 76, 62, 82. It's not this one, so it's incorrect, and we can keep answering that. I think I can do this. It should be this one. 89, 65, 3, 4, 0. 89, 65, 3, 4, 0. And that's correct. And there we go. So this we don't know. 36, 92, 3, 3, 1, 2. Okay, so this is incorrect. And this again is easy. 186. 186. Oh, just a quick explaining that I use some basic numbers like 126 and 18, 20, 30, 40 to all pre-recorded, and I just like do a quick algorithm to merge them, like to select the right symbol to combine the sum together. And this is, oh, this is hard. 863258. Just for the time purpose, I just skip this. This will just automatically become wrong in the end, and just that's 30842520. And this is the last 82524264. All right, so we got 6 correct and 9 incorrect, and there we go. And therefore, we can now have other tests. So this is the test we were having last time. Remember that this is 6 tests that were correct. 9, so 11, 90, 9. Is moved to the second box. And this is the 89, 60, 5, 3, 4, last time. And at the end, this is pretty easy. 1, 2, 6. 18, 7, 1, 2, 6. And this one we were correct last time, but probably this time it's gonna be hard. I think I can do it. 86, 3, 2, 5, 8. Well, this one is okay. So I'm not showing up my math, but just trying to do 30, whatever 80, 4, 2, 5, 2, 0. Okay, this one I can press this because 2 times 2 is 4, but let's just show what happens next if I do it 80, incorrect. 2, 50, 2, 4, 2, 6, 4. So now we're in the second box, and it's incorrect. So when we move back, we saw as 5 correct and 1 incorrect. So there will be like 5 boxes, 5 thing here, and only the one thing that bad over there is here. And therefore we can see that the 5 questions we already that mastered, and just for the sake of demo, let's do it again. 30, 80, 4, 2, 5, 2, so 0. Out of these 5 questions, I only answered 1, and this was only 1 correct and 4 incorrect. And the 1 correct moves here, and that's the only question. And if I continue 30, 80, 4, 2, 5, 2, 0. It will give us the last test, and that's pretty good. Let's just some 30, 80, 4, 2, 5, 2, 0. Sorry. There we go. And this is like the whole thing. So whenever this the answer that's correct answer, it moves to the second box. And if it's not correct answer, it stays here. Like, yeah, remember this is the one we don't know how to answer. This is like a hard one. This is like another hard one. So all these questions were like incorrect or randomly generated to figure out the rest of the position. So the first test is always 15 questions. 8, 6, 48. So let's just skip all this. 20, 14, 2, 8, 0. Okay. So these are all new questions, and the 2 that correctly answered moves to the second box. That's pretty much it. And we're gonna show up another demo later on. Alright, so we finished the previous demo, and now we move on to the second algorithm, the second part of my project, which is called SuperMemo 2. It's very classic space repetition, and it's been using by so many space repetition ways. And so in that thing, there's no more static boxes. All the boxes are assembled on the fly. Actually, it's not all the boxes, it's just one box. So whenever we need a test, we're gonna just assemble the bots in the right way. And all the items that in this case, all the questions has its own review schedule. So in the previous case, every bot has static schedules, and everything in the same bots have the same review schedule, and they never gonna change the schedule of the bots. But here, whenever an item is reviewed, either it's that correctly answered or not, it receives a new rate, and the rate will determine the new schedule, the new review schedule. So this is something I draw. So let's say here's the timeline, and we have some questions in spaced repetition way, like this, like the first day, the second day, the fifth day, the 10th day, and maybe the 20th day, and whatever. And it comes another question. It doesn't have to fall into this thing. It can be anywhere. It can be start on the second day, and because it's very easy, so we push it even later. And so you can see that these two questions have different space in between, and probably this question is much easier than this one, so we don't need to review it like this often. And of course, this can be an even easier question. Maybe that's correctly answered here, so that that's push like, and that's a very high rate, so it's very easy considered, and that's push back and back. We don't have to review it that often. But something here is a little bit harder than the third question, and something here is easy, and something here is normal. So let's say that actually our first question is the hardest, like the fifth review will be the earliest, and all the other questions will be kind of pushed back like that. So this tells us that again, there's no static box. It's like this is the day, so we'll review these three things. Like there's gonna be like lots questions. So let's say this is the day. It's not necessarily day one, but some day in between. But this is the day we review lots of questions, and in the beginning it's kind of like tight, crowded, but later on it gets more and more time, more and more spaces, so that we can utilize that time to learn some other things. And each item has its own review schedule. We already see that the space between them are all different, and whenever it gets reviewed, it just gets updated. Like maybe it was like that before, but later on it moves to this one. And so at the end, this is the demo time. Okay, so this is our new demo, and we can use the day slider here to just slide between days. This is an easy way to just for demo purpose, so that we don't have to actually change the system time. So let's say day 0, get started, and this is probably kind of hard, so let's just type some random questions here. 43, 94, 4, 0, 4, 2. Oh, this is the incorrect. And incorrect, we have three options, and you can see that the 0 represents like I totally don't know this thing, and it gets reviewed pretty often, like 0, 1, 7, 17, 40, 33, 62. We can kind of remember this status. We can change it later. So when we make rate 0, we're gonna like review it on the day 62, and here review it on the day 80, and here we see review it on 109. So that means like the question is that pushed further when it gets higher rate, and so because we totally don't understand this, we use this one, and this one is probably easy. Not for me, 16, 80, 9, 1, 4, 2, 4. So we think this is easier than the previous one, so we use this. Okay, and this is definitely easy. 2, 70, 1, 1, 4, 2. So this is too easy, and we just use this. And you see like that's pushed like even further, just like what we showed earlier on. This is not 62 anymore. It says 162. So that's very strong space because we think this is correct. And this is probably 63, easy. 88, 5, 5, 4, 4. It's actually cheating, but we can do that. It's 11 times, yeah, we can do that. And we just choose this because we're cheating, but we answered correctly. So whenever you answer correct, you can choose between 3, 4, and 5. Whenever you answer incorrect, you can choose 1, 0, 1, and 2. And okay, yeah, I should make it only 5. 56, 98, 5, 4, 8, 8. There we go. So we have 3 correct and 2 incorrect. So this time it doesn't get pushed to other boxes or whatever it is. It just only the rate of the questions get updated and the review interval get updated, so that we can maybe go back. Let's traveling through time to go to day number 62, and we will find some new questions and find our old questions. Actually, I don't remember 60, my old questions. 9, 8, 0. This is easy. 14, 20, 3, 3, 2, 2. Yeah, just for the sake of time. Let's do this again. Let's kind of remember this one. 14, 23, 3, 2, 2, and we're probably gonna move to day 83. See if it's that reviewed, and we'll just skip everything else. Oh, this is the one we reviewed last time. Never mind. I forgot. 82, right? 82. Let's just confirm this. 87, 97, 8, 3, 0. Oh, so let's do this. 83. So 82, 83. Okay. So let's do this too, and let's go check for day 82. This is not what we want. This is not what we want. Never mind. 83. This is the question we already met. 14, remember? 20, 3, 3, 2, 2. So again, you see that this is not the day we start. This is the day we start, and it gets pushed further on. Like this is what we intended to review, and this is 16, 40, this is the day the start day, and this is the first time. Notice the difference. Early on, let's go back. Early on here, this is not a new question. This question started at day 62, and now we are actually reviewing it on day 82, and we're reviewing it correct, so that's pushed back. And the next day we review will be this one. Awesome. I think this is the old question as well. 48, 50, 3, 2, 5, 4, 4. Right, these are all new questions, and we got 2 correct. So basically, you can see that we're changing the time, and when the right time comes, whenever the day is, we're gonna review it that day. We assemble the test by choosing the right questions, and then when the question is answered, the date just gets updated, and the schedule will be like this. I should have implemented a visual calendar or something like this, and to represent it a better way. Okay, so this basically is my representation.